Hey guys, here at the Fallout TV, as you know, we were a huge fan of Nikki Grahame, and BB Twitter was rocked with the news. I want to say it was Friday morning, of hearing the loss of an incredible human, an incredible soul, and immediately I thought, why don't we do a cold open on Wednesday's episode, because that was going to be the soonest one. Nikki, rest easy. You were one of those people I had the great pleasure to meet, and you were just this incredible soul, and we truly lost a Big Brother Canada legend, a BBUK legend, and Nikki, I hope you like this little small tribute that I put together for you. We love you. We're gonna miss you. And with that being said, here we go.
As someone who's a really big Big Brother fan, the moment I started watching BBCAN 4, I fell in love with Nikki. I had no clue who she was prior to that, because it was before I had gotten into BBUK. And so as soon as I finished BBCAN 4, I immediately went and watched Nikki's original season of Big Brother. And as someone who loves watching chaotic people, chaotic gameplay, and just loves the entertainment value of that, I fell in love with Nikki, and her continued presence throughout the future seasons of BBUK was just always so amazing. I had kept up with her post the show, and to hear that everything was happening to her was just very... It was heartbreaking to me, and hearing that she passed was even more heartbreaking to me. But I will say that I am glad that she is now in a better place for herself. I do wish it was with us, but I will never forget Nikki for the hours upon hours of entertainment and love and light and energy that she brought to the world. Thank you, Nikki, for everything that you did for us. We will miss you.
What made you a legend? I never claimed to be one. They invited me back in.
No, you never were, darling.
But what are you?
You're a hated figure.
What are you?
I'm a legend. I am legend.
Hello, Nikki. How was that?
It was so special. I'm so honoured to have gone back in. And they don't know it's the last of a series. There's something about this house where nothing else matters. In here, you've got nothing to worry about except, oh, I'm worried if I go to that room, what's the temperature going to be? That is the extent of it. I just don't want it to end. I've got one more week of watching, and then that's the end of Big Brother. It's just very sad. Big Brother's played such a huge part in my life. It changed changed my life for the better. I don't have one regret. Not one. It will always.
I am recovering.
Yeah. Welcome to the Fallout. Normally the post-apocalyptic edition, but today it's going to be the Remembering Nikki Grahame edition. We'll talk about the actual episodes of BBCAN that happened, but first, I mean, everything I wanted to say was kind of said in the video. But yeah,
Same.
we love Nikki.
If you are, I'm going to look up some links and post them a little bit later, but if you guys are struggling with mental health or anorexia or any of that, seek help.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we love you, Nikki. Rest in peace.
We love you. Okay, no more crying. Let's do the actual thing this time. Okay. 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 Welcome to the Fallout post-apocalyptic edition. We're bringing back the hands today, where we dive into all of the fallout of your favorite reality TV shows. Today, reviewing episodes 18 and 19 of Big Brother Canada Season 9. I'm Logan Murphy.
I'm Jordyn Lagace, also BBCAN source, and we are joined by...
Not Santi!
Nope, not Santi. It's Sean!
Yay, Sean! We love Santi, obviously, but it felt weird to do another Wednesday episode without a beautiful triangle of BBCAN fandom. So, Sean is here. Sean, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So like I said, we're going to be reviewing episodes 18 and 19 of Big Brother Canada Season 9. But before we get started, if you're watching with us live or after the fact on YouTube, make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, doing all those YouTube things. And if you're listening to us afterwards, wherever fine podcasts can be listened to, make sure you're also following, subscribing, liking, commenting, doing all those things as well.
All that.
And without further ado, let's talk about two pretty fucking boring episodes of BBCAN. I said what I said. In the words of Tamisha Iman, I said what I said.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We knew that they were going to do a Nikki tribute, and I'm very, very glad that Arissa was there in person to do the Nikki tribute.
I was too.
Yeah.
I want to say, like, initially, when I seen the cold open for the episode as well, I was like tearing up. I wasn't ready, but I am glad they did it. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And yeah, now we're going into that fallout of that double eviction.
So a double happened. It existed. It was pretty boring, but it happened. And so so like Jordyn said, we start the episode with the fallout of the double eviction. We get Kiefer saying that he knew he was going to win the double eviction HOH. Like, the theme of these two episodes is everybody and their mother and their second cousin thinking that they are the best Big Brother Canada player in the world, when in reality, none of these players would stand a chance against the BBCAN greats.
Yeah, they wouldn't stand a chance against Miss Ika Wong, the Jordyn. Oh, I don't know. Miss Ika Wong, Cassandra, Gary, maybe Netta.
Not maybe Netta.
I said what I said.
You did. Sean, what did you think about all of the, the cockiness that we started on Monday's episode with? And just throughout the last two episodes?
I mean, I wasn't mad because we get cocky too, but like the over cockiness, like we got it in the bag, was so cringe. It was very cringeworthy. Like they still have a few more weeks to the end. Like they still have to cross Tina, Tara, Brayden. Like they're basically underestimating them because each week is different. Like just because there is a higher number in their side doesn't really mean that they're running the game. But as of right now, the perception is they're running the game.
Yeah, some examples of the cockiness, especially in Monday's episode. Let's see. Kiefer's saying that we're the best alliance that's ever played. No, but okay. Beth saying that she is the only bad bitch. No.
Mm-mm.
The true
Just
bad bitch
because
walked out the door episode 2.
Yeah, like the true one. And then the other bad bitches followed in like
all of them.
Literally.
all of that.
What I will say though is, as much as I may not like the throuple, I have to say that they are playing a very good game, individually and together. And especially a lot of what was talked about in tonight's episode, especially between Tara and Beth, I would say that Beth is playing a very, very good game. Is it a great game by any means? No. But is it like a pretty good Big Brother game? I would say so. And I don't like saying that because I don't really care for Beth.
I would also say so. Like, she is one of the ones that if she can get there, she could win this season. Just the way she's aligned herself, she's making the moves. That being said, there's way too much flip-flopping and flip-floppy, flappy, flappy, all that jazz.
We will get into it. I wish I was wearing my we will talk about it shirt. That's what I should have worn today, because there was just too much going on. I did love at the beginning of Monday's episode where we got the whole segment with the family dinner. I really liked that. Tina talking about how she's the oldest person in this cast and she's still in the game. Kiefer representing for indigenous populations. The fact that the majority of the house still is people of color. Like, I loved that. I loved their little sentiment about like the representation that's still in the house. And like this season was very, very diverse to start with, and it still is for the most part.
For the most part.
Diverse, for the most part.
Guys in the chat, what are you guys thinking of the flip-flopping? I might post some comments up and pin them and do all those.
While I throw a lot of Twitters on the screen, all the Twitters. We'll re-mention the Twitters later on as well. But it's time for the HOH comp.
Okay. Before we get into that, what did you like? Do you feel like it was endurance? Like, do you think that would have been exhausting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I also did too. So I guess I would say that this was the first endurance that really felt endurance-y.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would have probably beat the competition, not to be honest. There's also strategy in it, because like they went into the ball pit, but like what the ball's outside? Like there was no regulations. They didn't say like you're allowed to throw the balls out there and then just grab
100%. That 100%.
That would have been what I would have
done. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I also would have hid balls. If I seen extra ones, I would have been
just like hide it in the corner. Yeah, so this was called Ball Pit Blitz. So they finally used the ball pit. The last 2 episodes, I was like, the ball pit is relevant, thank God. Other than people just hiding in it and memes forming. Like, it's actually worth something. So they threw a bunch of white balls into the ball pit. Every normal white ball was worth 1 point, but there were some balls with X's on them, and you could throw them in your opponent's little arrow tube contraption, and the person with the most points won the HOH. I hate that this was set up at Final 7 with a very obvious trio and a very obvious alliance of 4 left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why?
I-
What was the reason? What was the reason? I don't
what-
get it.
It looks
I
set
feel like-
up for Ty and Jed. And I
Yeah.
don't like it.
I feel like this would have been funner if it was like more people.
Yeah.
I feel like if you did this at Final 7 in like literally any other season of BBCAN, I think it would be okay. Or if you did it at like 11 or 10, like right before, if this is the last HOH before jury, I think that also would not only competitive, but it's very telling of like who's with who. And we did see a lot of the who's with who with where the X balls were being placed. And very early on in the comp, we see that the throuple is targeting Tara. And we get a DR from, I believe it was Ty. It was one of the throuple. I don't remember who it was. But they were talking about how Tara is such a wild card and they don't know what she would do. In reality, we know that she would target the
We
throuple.
all know.
But they don't know necessarily what Tara would do with an HOH.
What did you, I know that she and Tina both gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Why did, I feel like if you know you're going to be nominated, fight for it harder. Don't just let them win.
Fair, but at the point that Tara stopped, it was about 4 minutes left, and her tube for the X balls was completely full, and her arrow had barely been filled. And so at that point, like I understood it, because if you know you're going up at that point, like save your energy for the veto. And then Tina stopped like 2 minutes before the comp was over. So it's not like because the perception we got from the feeds before this was that Tara quit like halfway through the competition. But in reality, it was like closer to the end. So I understood it, like saving your energy for the veto because you know you're going to be playing.
Honestly, if I was Tara, I would have went back into that ball pit and start swooshing around the balls, trying to like make sure they don't get into the balls.
I would have been petty. I would have went back in there and
help
been like,
Brave
bitch.
win, or help Tina win. I would have like, here's some white balls. I'll get all the red ones. I'll throw them in their tubes.
But instead, Tara decides to blow up on everyone and promise her jury vote to Jed if he makes Final 2. And I was just like, and then she has how did Vic say audacity? The audacity? Is that how she said it? I don't remember, but I miss Vic. Tara
Big Brother, give us jury feeds. We want jury feeds.
Please. But Tara decides to have the audacity to go, you're all cowards. It's 4 against 1. And Kiefer, fully in host mode of the competition, goes, don't call me a coward, Tara. And I'm just like, this man is fully hosting this competition and fighting with Tara. And I'm just like, this is a mess, but this is what I wanted to see out of Tara. Like the last couple episodes,
This is the spunk I wanted from her. Like,
I'm not rooting for her, but
but this was the spunk I wanted. This was the spunk I wanted from the get-go. I wish she would have did this earlier. Yeah, how would you have done with the balls?
I think I would have done okay.
I think I could have won it.
I think I could have won it. I have big enough hands to grasp all 5 in one hand, grab another with the other hand, and then run back.
Well, you could only bring 5 at once.
Exactly.
Like 5 total at a time.
So,
yeah, no, but I know what you mean.
Also, I feel like they competed and they mixed the balls. Like, they'll bring back 3 white and then with the 2 red ones. I think for me, what I would have done is the first 10 sets would be all white balls, and then I'll come back and do red ones. Because everyone's mindset is getting all the white ones. So at least having some white balls in my trunk would be more beneficial, and then go back in the red ones and dispute them.
But I mean, I think I would have done decently if there was a target on my back in the game. I don't like if I was in if I was in the thruples position, I probably would have won because I have the endurance for it. Because that's not like the worst endurance challenge we've ever seen. But I don't know. But it paid off to be in a thruple because it came down to Jed and Brayden, and Jed won the HOH. And yeah.
What
Good
a do,
for him.
baby!
He won something.
Yay!
He did it.
This is
The
the second
second
comp win,
Joe.
right?
First.
Didn't he win a
hasn't won
veto?
anything. No, that was Ty.
Oh.
Ty won the veto
Or-
on the double.
Unless I'm
No,
forgetting something.
the scramble.
You're so right. This is Jed's second win. Never mind.
Look, that feels like a long ass time ago. To be fair,
That feels.
That was Latoya's week.
yeah,
Oh my god. Oh, not
so
that.
long ago. Yeah,
Not that.
at this point, it's pretty clear what his nominees are going to be, and then he decides to take.
Tara.
Tina. Tara to the Wendy's window. What did you think about that?
I was confused,
Yeah, I honestly,
but I understood.
I thought he
got
would
his
like.
reasoning.
I kind of thought he would have done like, like
He-
Beth or Ty, just to kind of get that like one-on-one time uninterrupted again, to kind of just reiterate where their heads were at going in to final 5, final 6,
Yeah.
and all of
Well,
that.
the reason-
jazz.
Sorry. I think that was a good move for Jed. I think it's a little too late though, but also kind of a good move. Just because like he's kind of reaching out in a way, but I mean it's too late in the game to even reach out to people and grasp
Not
for
really
that.
reaching out.
Yeah.
Well, and his reasoning was that Tara's been through a lot recently, so I'm gonna give her Wendy's, and I'm just like,
Okay, jury management.
honestly, I'm like, okay, jury management. Also, Jordyn,
I didn't think about it as a
They got burgers. They got burgers.
This is the
It's
first
something
time
we-
I've seen beef in the Big Brother house. But, well, you know what I mean.
Well,
From Wendy's.
We've seen some other beef in the Big Brother Canada house this season, Jordyn.
Not that.
They've been eating a lot of chicken sandwiches, which I'm like, you know what?
Everything is chicken. Everyone's ordering chicken or a
Everything
salad.
is chicken or a salad.
I also love that Tara continued the trend of getting the lemonade, which Vic started, and I was like, I'm on board for this.
Did you, did we know, I don't remember, was it the Korean barbecue?
No, so Tara got a junior bacon cheeseburger because she's junior. Her words, not mine. And Ty got like I think like a double or something.
Jetson, you mean?
Whoever's there.
Jetson is the HOH, remember?
Well, you know
Bottom
what?
corner.
No, I didn't remember, but I'm over this season, y'all. I'm just gonna be frank with you. I'm just this season is just drowning on. But we do get. Oh my God, we're not at the waffling yet. We will get there. But I found it interesting in this conversation, especially. Tara was kind of throwing Tina under the bus, saying that Tina kind of doesn't really have to fight for her spot. She could be in several final 2 scenarios, and at this point, she's kind of just the GOAT, which makes me upset for Tina because I do think she's been playing a very good social game. She just hasn't been able to back it up with any comp wins. She's been very close in a few, but she hasn't been able to back up her social game with any like big moves, big like threatening things. And so unfortunately we are kind of in the position where Tina is the GOAT. And I hate
I
that.
would compare Tina to a Karen minus the comp points.
I would agree.
Because she did play such she's the reason why, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, she's the reason why this whole alliance is a thing. Because she picked those people on her team. And without her, that alliance wouldn't have been a thing.
Also,
mhm.
I think Tina has been I think her strategy is to be more social and less of a threat. And I think she's in a pretty good position. I'm sad for her with like everything that's happened in the episodes, and we will be getting into it, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to nobody's surprise, TNT are nominated. I don't think that came as a shock to any of us. His reasoning for Tara is that, you know, she said his name throughout the game, which is true. She's emotional, and like the wild card aspect just isn't good for his game. And then for Tina, he has a strong personal relationship with her, but surface level game talk, which is true because once LaToya, like, and it all goes back to honestly LaToya getting evicted over Kiefer. Because at that point, that was originally LaToya and Tina were originally very, very close. And then when LaToya left, Tina kind of just started drifting away from the Sunsetters, but that was purposeful for her game. But like it's all of the myriad of the things that are happening. But yeah, I was not surprised at all to see Tina and Tara nominated.
Yeah. I'm not surprised either.
Do we remember, was Tina in Sunsetters?
Yes.
Yes. So the Sunsetters, the original 6 were the throuple, LaToya, Kiefer, and Tina.
Interesting.
Because that was like, because Kiefer and Tina both picked 2 of the people from the Sunsetters, and then they all kind of just came together. And that's how it was started. But Tina was kind of the glue between a lot of different parts for a while until, you know, the throuple formed, and then the 4 with LaToya formed, and then LaToya left, and the 4 with Kiefer formed, and then Tina was kind of on an island, as they like to say in this season.
They kind of kept her close, but like she was never really a Sunsetter.
She was a Sunsetter, but once LaToya left, that was the point where she kind of pivoted her own game to be like, I'm close with them, but I'm also like here. And we do get a lot of Tina talking in the episode about how, you know, she's having to go back to Sunsetters because they're such a dominant alliance. Like, I should be good till Final 5 is something we literally heard from her DRs tonight. And so it was just like, oh, so she thinks she's still good, when in reality, Brayden's slipping in there a little bit. And we do hear Jed and the rest of the throuple talking about how the target at this point is Tara, just because of the whole wild card aspect. The thing I found interesting about the eviction speech as well is Jed made sure to mention that because of how close Tina is with Tara, that wild card mentality could be passed off to Tina. And I don't think that's true whatsoever, because I think Tina is obviously a very level-headed game player. We haven't seen Tina do a whole lot of anything this season other than drink. But I don't know. I just found it interesting that Jed made sure to focus on that.
I feel like for Tina, like her gameplay is so level-headed that, like, yes, if she had won an HOH, it might be a wild card move on her end. But she knows what she's doing. She knows she has the Sunsetters, but she knows she has Tara, her social connections with Brayden, and at the time, her social connections with Ro, when Ro was still in the game. Like, she was still, like, she branched herself after LaToya went home. Yeah. And I find that a good game move. I gravitate towards the people like Tina's, Tara's, the Brays, not the bros.
Well, and this is the point where kind of all of Tina's shields are used up, and now Tina has to be a target because there's nobody else in front of Tina to be put on the block.
she's
except
one
for
of
one
the
person, but we
more
can talk about it later.
she's one of the more level-headed remaining house guests, and she is definitely using her brain more than her whatever the fuck they're doing. Body.
Or, other things to influence gameplay,
Uh-huh.
like a penis. But it's fine.
I
She's the
mean,
mom of the group.
I would too.
No, I'm talking about other people.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's pretty much all with Monday's episode. Not a whole lot happened. So starting tonight's episode, we get the fallout of the nominees. There's a lot of game left to play this week, and boy, has there been. The thing that the two things I found very interesting were this Tara and Beth conversation, where Tara's like, "You're my only shot at making final two, so please take me, please." And I'm just like,
I sat there like looking at my TV screen, saying, "Kiss ass." And
That
in
part.
games, watching Big Brother, I'm like, I'm the one who doesn't like kiss assing, but if I have to do it, I'll do it. But that kiss ass moment cringed. And I mean, I get it. She's at the bottom. She's trying to grasp. Good game on her. I applaud her, but it's not going to work in her favor.
I mean,
the interesting.
Beth
Yeah.
needs to. Beth is at a point in this game where she needs to make a decision.
Yes.
Who is she gonna sit at the end with? Because
Yeah.
Justin or Ty they're not good options to win. Like Tara, you could also call that conversation with Tara jury management, because she's trying to be like, I'm a goat, take me. It might work, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's the fact that, like,
I think no matter what happens, she's going to be a nominee next week.
It's the fact that, like, every single one of them goes to Beth, not realizing she's a big threat. Is the fact that, like, Brayden goes to Beth, Jed and Ty obviously goes to Beth, Kiefer goes to Beth, Tara goes to Beth. Like, it fascinates me how well she positioned herself after the invisible HOH.
Yeah. Well, and
I hate to say that.
I know. I hate talking about how good she's playing because I don't like her. But that brings me to the other important thing that happened before we get like the rest of the episode basically being the veto. Beth says in her DR, if I have to cut the boys, I will. And that's what I needed to see from Beth in order to be like, you know what, on a gameplay level, I'm on board with you. Like, that's the thing. And we'll get to it when we talk about spoilers as well. Beth is still kind of the level head in what has been happening since the veto.
She's aware. She's very aware.
She's very aware of where she's at and what needs to happen.
Like, that is one thing I can say for her. Thank God she's aware.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she wasn't, I would have been super concerned for her, because Jen and Ty are clearly going to take each other to the end.
Yeah.
That's why it was so bittersweet in her HOH reign, because, you know, the bitter part, Victoria going home, the sweetness is the fact that she's playing the game. She's the only person left in that game that's in that house that's playing the game and actually calculating when to make the right moves. And I wouldn't be mad that if she actually makes it to the end and win. You know, like, I gotta give respect and credit where it's due.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. As much as I don't love Beth, I think she's got a good case at the end of this. I think that HOH was when she really started to show she was playing her own game, especially with like the fact that the boys did not want Victoria to go up. So credit where credit is due.
This feels very
She's got a
a la.
case.
This feels very a la Kayla to me.
She
At
is
this
getting
point-
she's getting a winner edit at the moment.
She is.
That's how I felt with Kayla in season 6. The same
Yeah.
emotions I have with Beth is the same emotions I have with Kayla. Kayla stuck her. She literally said it in her like the first thing she said in her DR was, "I will make sure I will get into a showmance and make it to the end and cut them." That's what Beth is doing. She didn't get herself in a
knew she would
showmance.
be-
She got herself
Well-
in a throuple.
A throuple. I was not expecting that from Little Beth. Off
Also,
the, videos.
I just not at all, but I just want to point out as well. I was today years old when I realized that the sauce, the name of their alliance, comes from the fact that the original name of their alliance was the Isosceles. And it just clicked for me tonight while watching, and I was just like, well, no, they put all their. That's Sunsetter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did their the finger thing tonight in the thing, and I was like, no, stop it. No, I don't want to do this. But anyway, let's get on to unnamed TikTok sponsored veto competition. I hate how the veto comps don't have names this season. None of them have had a name. And I'm just like,
That's
why?
weird.
None of them have had a name. So it is
Big Brother, we
untitled.
want to know
budget.
that we the name's not in the budget.
I'm saying they don't have a
Apparently. Apparently, there's no budget for veto names, but you could get a TikTok Canada sponsorship. Okay, cool. So this is a 3-part competition. The players are Tina and Tara, obviously. Ty. Tara got house guest choice and picked Kiefer, which I thought was interesting. And then Beth was pulled as well, meaning that the only person not safe and not competing in the veto is good old Brayden. And I was just like, of course, Brayden's not playing in the veto. Yeah.
Brayden has had a very hard game. Like, if anyone was to say he wasn't playing the game, I would say bullshit, because he has been a constant nominee from the get-go.
Mhm.
And he's had to fight for his spot, to be honest.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Do
these
you
people-
think Tara picking Kiefer was like a small hint that there could be a potential backdoor plan? So like Tara picked him just because he has some kind of power to at least give himself safety? Because that's what I was thinking throughout the episode.
I
today.
guess. It could be. She didn't mention it, but it definitely could be. Because obviously she's not going to pick Brayden, obviously.
And the reason,
So-
because she's not going to pick Brayden because of the fact that she wants Brayden to be an option to leave,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think Kiefer would have been her only option at that point.
But yeah,
That
so in unnamed TikTok sponsored veto competition, it was 3 rounds. So the first round you had to stack blocks while blindfolded, and all of this is in reference to TikTok videos that they saw the day before. So it's simultaneously like a physical comp, but also a lot of memory involved. And I love this kind of comp. I think they need to do more of these comps. But the first one was blindfold block stacking, of which are fabulous women, Tina, Tara, and Beth. Well, not all fabulous, but the women all advanced to the second round.
Good for them.
The boys were just like,
ladies,
no.
You know, the ladies are kicking ass this season. Like,
They are.
the female representation throughout this whole thing has been incredible.
The women and Roe have been dominating the competition. So in round 2, they dig into some good old slop. And they have to find numbers to correspond to their slop cookie recipe. But the catch is they have to convert everything because it was an American TikTok video. So they had to convert everything into metric, and I was like, fuck you. The one time the imperial system pays off, I'm like, I wouldn't want to do that. And it was close, but then we get TNT moving on to the final round, which I was like, this feels correct. I'm cool with this. And we also, I mean, even if Beth had moved on to round 3, she did talk about how she probably would use the veto on Tara to show like that sort of loyalty, just to get like either Kiefer or Brayden up on the block, which I found interesting. Nobody else really talked about using the veto. Oh wait, no, that's a lie. Kiefer said he was going to use the veto on Tina for obvious reasons. But yeah, and then the third round is you have to move these like adjustable boards down a ladder to get a ping pong ball to trick shot into a vase, basically, at the bottom.
Okay, this veto I would have sucked at.
I would have done great.
I would have sucked.
I would have won this, probably.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
It just but you know,
all of it just like, okay, so like the beginning part would have been okay, like the sacking or whatever, but as like if I would have moved, the metric shit would have threw me completely off, and I would have been like, how the fuck am I gonna win this?
Not that.
I think I would have been decent. I mean,
I probably would have had a meltdown.
I would have had a meltdown if I made it all the way to the third part.
Very that. Well, you know who didn't have a meltdown, friends? Tara, because she won a competition.
Holy shit!
And you know what?
She won something.
I
couldn't be happier for her.
I actually was. Tonight's episode made me look like, you know what, Tara, you're shit, but like you're a little bit above everybody else. Like the actions of the last week have me rooting for Tara again, and I'm just like, why?
The thing is, I don't hate Tara because yes, we're live. You're gonna hear it from me, everyone watching. I am the type of person who will use the emotions and my past as a game move, and what she's done. And again, like, you know, it's not like she does it on purpose. Like, she actually, you know, she wanted this to happen for her. But like, I don't hate her.
It's the microaggressions for me, but like,
I'm just talking about gameplay.
Oh, gameplay, I don't mind her at all.
Gameplay aside, I think she's playing okay. I felt like she wasn't really playing it until now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've said that before. So it's not like it's news to anybody.
I mean, the rest of the episode is just... The rest of this episode is really just... everyone talking about putting up Kiefer. We get this hide-and-seek moment task thing, which was dumb. Because we were all curious as to why Ty was sleeping in the ball pit. Because apparently have-nots don't have to sleep in the have-not room anymore in Canada. And I'm annoyed by it. I'm going to be honest. Apparently have-nots only have to eat slop. And I'm just like, that's not a have-not. That's being on slop.
All I'm going to say is Big Brother for All Stars. Make them sleep in the fucking room, please.
There was literally a have-not room last season, and the season was 13 episodes. Like, what are we doing? And then the only other...
I'm glad they used the ball pit, though. I was starting to think all the budget was the ball pit, and then nothing was going to be in there. That being said, now I'm starting to feel like there is no power.
Wait, but like y'all hated the hide and seek? I thought that was fun. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was dumb.
I enjoyed it.
I'm just like the fact that they found Tina and then ran out, and Beth was literally hiding under the clothes. I was like, okay, what? No, not this. But yeah.
I 100% would have hid in the ball pit.
I would have probably undressed, hid myself in the hot tub. I was like, why did Ty not do that? Ty literally hid beside it. Why didn't you were literally undressed?
I mean,
go inside. Because you come out, you're all wet.
It was nice to look at. Still, it was nice to look at. But yeah, we go from this lovely, beautiful hide and seek to depression and crying and depression and crying because the throuple decides to tell Kiefer he's going on the block. And Kiefer's like, but I've been loyal. But, like, I've been Sunsetter since day one. Like, I don't know. And everyone is crying. Right before the veto ceremony, everyone's crying. Jed's crying. Ty's crying. Beth is crying. Tara's crying for Kiefer. Tina's over here giving him a mom hug because we knew she would. He's bawling his eyes out. And I'm just like, and I couldn't be bothered.
Before this whole thing happened, like, I think it was 5 minutes before the veto comp, Kiefer and Tina were talking in the bedroom, and Tina was warning Kiefer, like, you know, it's a choice, but he literally said, "I'm confident," and then she said, "Well, I warned you," and then yeah, we get to this.
Kiefer, literally, Tina is the epitome of "I told you so," because Tara took herself off the block. Technical difficulties. Well, okay, we're just gonna see that Tara won the veto. And the final nominees were Tina and Kiefer. So that's fun and lovely.
I have a lot to say. So let's talk about it. Why in the fuck are you going to say you're backdooring someone and then spoiler warning, the waffling has begun.
But we haven't given the spoiler warning yet, Jordyn. We haven't done it. But yeah, so the final noms are
rails.
You have the final noms are Tina and Kiefer. If you don't want to hear spoilers, goodbye. Leave. Goodbye. Yeah,
Come back
more
after
waffles.
You've seen the episode.
Yes. Oh, Sean, while we delay, what do you like on your waffles?
Sean
I'm a chicken and waffles kind of guy.
I was about to say, Sean wants some chicken with those waffles.
Yes.
If I was a kid, like if I was like, okay, I'm gonna act like a kid. Some waffles with chocolate chip on top, some drizzle syrup. If not, then some Nutella. I'll dip in that in Nutella.
Ooh.
But yeah,
maybe to celebrate the season's over, we should have a waffle event.
I don't get the waffle references, but I do love waffles.
Well, just all of the waffling that's been happening tonight.
It's the flip-flopping, it's the flap-flapping, and the flip-a-flap-a-flap-a-flap.
We love a good fab.
There we go. Here we are. Banners are working again if you're watching us on YouTube. But yeah, so just some live feed updates really quickly, and then we can run through kind of our thoughts on everything. So right after the veto happened, Kiefer was like, well, I'm going home. Okay. So he decides he's going to go to Brayden and tell Brayden everything. Every single thing. Tells Brayden about the Sunsetters, but leaves out Tina, which I did appreciate. Tells him literally everything about every single eviction that's happened. And I'm just like, I mean, I loved it for Bray. I'm glad that Bray has the information.
Bray has the info. I wonder if they would feel differently now if they knew Bray had the information.
If I was Bray, I would go to the throuple and be like, oh, we were trying to keep Kiefer? Plot twist, he just told me all of your games, so...
He just blew you the fuck up.
I'm laughing because, like, you know, in online reality games that we do, again, I'm that type who would just be like, fuck y'all. This is what's happening. I'm in this person. This person's that alliance. The way that he exploded in such a calm way to Brayden is funny.
Trust and believe. I've had the backlash of Sean many moons ago. So like I completely Sean would blow you the fuck up.
But yeah,
on his
so
exit, he's gonna expose the fuck out of you.
Oh, good.
As did Kiefer.
Yep. But wait, the throuple is waffling again. The waffles, the pancakes, the flip-flops, the sandals, all of it is happening because now apparently they're evicting Tina.
Okay, this is how I feel. I wonder if they would feel the same way had they have the information that Brayden knows.
No, they would evict Kiefer.
And here's the thing, like, they still could.
That's a good game move on Brayden to go to them and be like, listen, he just told me everything. That puts Brayden in a fourth place spot officially.
Yeah.
Get Kiefer out, and then Tina will go home. Actually, it will really, I don't know. I don't know who'll go home next week.
Okay, but like putting Kiefer on the block was savage AF, and I was like, yes. And now knowing what I know, with the flip-flopping and the flapping, I wouldn't hesitate to evict Kiefer. Like, it is not good for you guys to keep him when he's blowing up your alliances.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't Julie evicted because of
talking about an alliance?
Talking too much? That's why Kiefer should leave.
And
Goodbye,
so for me at this point, I'm just like, evicting Tina, like literally if you put Kiefer up and evict Tina, Jed's game move is out the door. Which is honestly smart for Beth's game.
That's not building a winning resume.
No.
It does sound like sabotage.
That jury is going to be better if Jed basically makes it to the end. That jury is going to be better.
And then they gave, they're giving Kiefer the opportunity to... This is how I see it. It's kind of like giving the rest of them a free pass to be pawns if Kiefer wins. He'll be like, I could see Kiefer not hesitating to nominate Jed simply as backlash. He'd be like, oh, well.
Oh, I don't think. No, he won't.
Because he's still out or whatever.
Because he's still loyal to the soil. He's not going to nominate them. So at this point, I'm just like, bullshit. So now, as of this current moment, Tina is still getting evicted, which I don't understand. I'm very upset about it, obviously, because I have been vocal about being, my stand card has been, I'm Miss Tina Thistle for the majority of this season, even though she has not done much in this game, but it was still there nonetheless.
So what happens if it's a tie, though? Because
Jed breaks the tie.
Yeah, Jed, and then Jed would.
So right now, Jed would evict Tina.
The flip-flopping.
The flip-flops and the sandals of it all, Sean.
And the sandals, because this has been the theme of the season, and especially over the last few weeks.
It really has. It really has. They go back and forth, and back and forth. So, which is all right to watch, but if it's a constant back
not
and forth,
every week. Not every week.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. If it's a constant back and forth.
Entertaining occasionally, but I'm getting bored.
Yeah.
The end game to this game is boring.
And then we also get this random fight between Kiefer and Tara about like swearing on kids. I don't really want to talk about it because it's just boring. And then Kiefer is doing his bragging thing again to Tina, being like, my resume's so good. I'm going to win this game. Because what we didn't talk about on Monday's episode is Kiefer outright says, I'm going to win this game. You're at final 7.
And you're on the block.
You haven't won yet. Like, no, this was before he was on the block. This was during the HOH.
Well, This
But I'm just like,
Kiefer.
You got
Kiefer.
overconfident, cocky Kiefer on Monday's episode to tonight's episode. The best players don't make it to the end.
and honestly, we've talked for too long about these episodes. So, with that being said, is there anything else we want to wrap up with?
We will be live once again tomorrow night following the eviction.
Yes,
And one thing I would like to formally announce, Sean will be our Circle correspondent. Insert laugh track. Yay!
Yay!
So Sean will be back with us on Friday night when we discuss episode 1 and 2 of the Circle. And anything else, guys?
Y'all, Circle's good. Circle right now is giving me all of the things BBCAN isn't, so
have a
I'm
lot
good.
of things to say.
Uh-huh.
There are a lot of bad opinions on my end. A specific person. I mean, we already know who that might be.
we know who it is. Yeah, we know who it is.
We are gonna hold it off until Friday night.
Yeah. Friday.
Also, my
Friday.
Twitter is wrong. I forgot to tell you that.
What is it?
Call him out!
It's a K. No, there's no ID at the end.
You know
because
what?
that annoying kid is taken because I'm not the only Filipino out there.
Everybody go blow
Shocker!
up the gym leader,
Shocker!
Logan. We want to get Logan
Spoiler.
just solid N.
Thank you.
There we go. Much better.
All right. So with that being said, once again, I just want to iterate, mental health issues, no joke. Anorexia, bulimia, all of that, no joke. So if you guys have any of that, find help, please. Especially with this pandemic. That is all I'm going to say of the Panakukin. And we will see you guys Friday night. No, wait, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Bye,
we will
everyone.
see you tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow, Friday, and Sunday. You're getting a lot of the fallout. Sorry, not sorry.
It's coming. And then on Monday, I might be dropping one of the final Orlando vlogs remaining. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.